All right, so hoping everybody had a great weekend. Welcome back, of course, to Diamond K Show here on RadioOnFire.com, of course, broadcasting from the Radio on Fire newsroom here in Baltimore, Maryland. Nikki also in the house. How you doing, Nikki?
Hey, how are you?
Wonderful, wonderful. I want to talk, of course, about the Poly City Poly Fest. Want to talk about Cease Fire here in Baltimore, Cease Fire. Also want to talk about Beto O'Rourke dropping out of the race as he should. And Dirty Dancing. Fascination. I never understood it totally. So over the weekend, the Poly City Poly, they had their 131st game of the rivalry. Okay. But there was also a festival, tailgate, a party that was outside that we had a chance to check out. And it was interesting. So you went to Western.
Yes, I did.
Which to me seems that you would be partial to Poly. Were you?
No, I'm neutral.
Neutral?
Yes.
How so? Why is that?
Because I have friends at Poly and City. Actually, I think I have more friends at City than I actually do have at Poly. So, hence, I'm neutral.
Yeah.
I've dated more guys from City than Poly. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So, I'm partial.
Yeah. More guys from City?
Yeah.
I mean, because Poly was like right there.
Yeah.
So this rivalry, when you went to Western, was this rivalry something that they talked about at school?
Oh, absolutely. This rivalry has been around for, centuries.
Centuries.
Yeah.
So let's centuries is probably extreme,
but
I guess it's probably. But it's probably accurate.
Yeah.
Because both schools started in the 1800s.
Yes.
We are in 2000, so that's more than one century. So that's centuries with an S.
That's true.
When did City start? Founded? City College, Baltimore City College. Well,
yeah.
Is that what it's called? Baltimore City College.
Baltimore City College. Was it the Castle on the Hill?
Yep, I've heard that.
Yeah.
Castle on the Hill.
BCC has many names, but it was founded in 1839.
Wow.
Long time ago, right?
Long time ago.
Yeah.
And so it was founded as a co-ed school?
Yes. It's always been co-ed.
And always been in the location that it is right now? For the most part?
For the most part.
What was the address of the school? Do we know that? I don't know. Do we know the address?
Not really.
33rd Street, right? Is that 33rd?
Alameda, 3220, the Alameda.
Right. So that's right across from where Memorial Stadium used to be.
Correct.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about Poly now. So this is the opposing school, Poly.
Right.
When were they founded?
1883.
Wow. Okay. I didn't know that. So let's talk a little bit about Poly. What is the background? Like, how was it founded? Or what was it initially?
No. So Poly was initially all male school. Did you know that?
Did not.
Yeah. So it was an all male school, and then it became co-ed.
And so, also unrelated, but I think related, I just always tie Poly and Western together. So Western just celebrated a birthday, an anniversary or something?
Yeah, 175th. We're 175 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
What? Wow. Okay. So Poly was. So when you were there, did girls go to Poly?
Yeah, when I was there, girls went to Poly.
So initially, it's founded like two schools. We're going to separate the girls and the boys so they can focus on academics.
Exactly.
Is that the reason for the separation?
That was it.
Now, to your experience being an alumni of Western, do you think that it to me it would be the exact opposite? Like the lack of the opposite sex would to me make class more difficult.
Why?
Because I'm thinking about getting to be where girls are.
No, No, that's not true. You boys always act silly in class.
Yeah.
They cause girls to have beef with each other for no reason. Beef, yeah, some old. So boys can be a distraction, definitely. You know, y'all class clowns. When you think of a class clown, who do you think of? Boys. You know what I'm saying? Like, I went there. I think it was good. It provided we were able to bond. A sisterhood is different when you have when you put males in play in those situations. You don't have the same closeness. So I don't know, I had an awesome high school experience, really.
Yeah. So I was wondering. I had my own view as to the start of the Poly City rivalry. I didn't share this with you. So I had assumed me knowing people, knowing the sources of conflict stem from three possible things, usually.
Okay.
Money.
Okay.
Respect. Or women or men, opposite sex.
Right.
You know what I mean? One of those three things starts most drama.
This is true.
Right? Money, respect, or she try to take my man, or he try to take my girl.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or whatever your proclivity is. Right?
Right.
Something like that. So I figured that the Poly City rivalry started because of some chick at Western. That's what
why did it have to be
that's
some
what
chick
I
at
thought.
Western? Because, like I said, we're neutral.
Y'all ain't neutral.
We are.
Y'all ain't neutral. The poly guys probably look at y'all as traitors if y'all over there with them city folk.
Well, this is true.
Right.
But who cares? I didn't.
But that's not the case at all. So the Poly City rivalry is the oldest in American football rivalries in Maryland.
Okay.
And one of the oldest public school rivalries in the country. Okay.
Okay.
But the rivalry between Boys Latin School and English High School was before that. But anyway,
Wow. Okay.
this rivalry began in 1889. Okay?
I did not know that.
And the city school team was dominant. They met Poly, and this tradition has continued from there. But the first matchup, surprisingly, that they had was at Clifton Park.
Wow.
And
Really?
and City emerged as the victor in that. But then this rivalry just continued and continued and continued. They kept playing each other each year. And then we get to the point where we are, or where we were on Friday, which was 62, 62, and 6 in the series. So they were tied. 62 victories for Poly,
Okay.
62 victories for City, and 6 ties. Right?
Right.
So this rivalry has, to me, should have been, it's over now. Should be ended. It's done. Right? City won. 10-6 yesterday.
So the tie is
over
broken.
the weekend, huh?
So you're saying the tie is broken now.
The tie is broken.
So City broke the tie.
And this happened at Morgan State's Hughes Stadium. This is City's 8th consecutive victory in this series. Now, surprisingly, this is the first time that City has led the matchup since the 70s.
Well, see, now the rivalry continues because Poly has to get back on
The rivalry
top.
continues.
Come on now, you know that.
Yeah,
like,
the rivalry-
they
the
probably
rivalry
want to
continues.
prove that was a fluke game.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
it continues. The rivalry just continues.
So after and during the game, there were festivities which took place at Poly.
Yep.
And, of course, Radio on Fire was on the scene. Let's take a look a little bit as to the going-ons at the Poly City Poly Fest.
We are at the City Poly tailgate.
All right, so here's the thing. Everybody that I talk to, says it differently. Why do you say City Poly?
Because City is the best.
Obviously, you went to City. What year? Shout out.
Did not go to City.
Oh, no.
But my best friend, who was right there,
That was your best friend?
went to City. And so I'm Team City. Class of 97.
Class of 97. Oh, my sister is class of 97. Okay. So, yeah, I was wondering that.
I've been to 5 tailgates in a row. I am officially a member. This is also my best friend here, who also went to City class of 97.
Hey, 97 in the motherfucking house. Oh.
So do y'all go to the game exactly?
No, we didn't go to the game. We heard through the grapevine that City won, so that's all we needed to know.
So is
That's all
that
that matters.
how did this rivalry start?
So 180 years ago, we have been doing this rivalry. Okay, 131 years ago, we have been doing this rivalry of football games, and today was the tiebreaker, and City has taken the lead.
Yep.
So I can talk to you because you went to City, correct? How do y'all feel about?
Baltimore, though.
I'm sorry, I know.
I'm still from Baltimore.
Me too. How do you feel about other schools, not her, infiltrating your party?
Huh? How do we feel about what?
Other schools coming here and like, cause this is the hottest party in the city.
You know what? I think it's a family affair. It's a great way to distribute like what Baltimore City can bring, where it's positivity, it's straight love, regardless of what city you went from, what side you came from. Like, it's a big celebration.
Exactly.
I love it. Every year that we have this, it's never been no negative
At all.
press taken from this. It's just been straight love, respect, and
It's
a
a
great
one big
time. So
family.
it's a one big family. So regardless of what school you came from, like, at the end of the day, everybody know that City is number one.
Number one.
Of course.
Number one.
Thank y'all so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Whoa! What's going on? How you doing? You all right? Where you been hiding at? Cause you haven't been to my show.
Oh, you know, I had to spend some time in prison. So,
What you got coming out?
nothing. Psych.
So something's coming before Christmas?
It might come in December on my birthday, December 24th. It might.
Okay.
If I finish it. I got to work with engineers and all that, so you might.
Okay. Scar Akbar.
I got it.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so as you can see, there was a lot going on at the City Poly Fest.
Yeah.
You know, when you talk about the line being wrapped around the building, it looked like there was a long line of folk. This area where this took place at is called the Quad.
Yes.
Explain
Quad.
to me what that exactly means. What did y'all use it for when you were there?
So during lunchtime, we were able to go and, socialize in the quad, get a breath of fresh air. It was definitely used more in the summertime than in the wintertime. But, yeah, that's when you socialize. So that means that Western and Poly shared the quad. So if you wanted to see someone from Poly during the school day, you could always meet up in the quad or, so it was like a meeting place.
Meet me at the Quad. It's going
Exactly.
down. I got
Exactly.
you. Were there ever fights on the Quad?
Of course, it's always fights.
Okay.
It's fight on the quad in front of school. It's like absolutely.
Yeah. So we saw the city side of the Quad. Now let's
Right.
take a look at the Poly side of the Quad. We are in the Quad at Poly Western. So that's where we are. A lot of people here. The game is finally over. Get a shot of the people. I want them to see how many people are here. So there are a lot of people in the building, as you can see. We're outside. So people are celebrating. They're drinking. They're eating. They are having a good time. They are fellowshipping with their friends. And as you can see, some people dancing, some people sitting, some people are so feeling nice that they just sitting in a chair, almost passed out. Yeah, so interesting things going on. So I want you to see the people. DJs are on a makeshift stage. This is typical Baltimore partying and having a good time. So something interesting happened. A refrigerator fell. Get a shot of this, right? So this thing right here fell, right? And when it fell, it made a loud noise, right? But nobody moved. It's like Baltimore is used to loud noises. Very interesting. Anyway, Radio on Fire, we are in here. I've seen a lot of people that I know haven't seen in a long time. Poly City Poly. This is like the biggest high school tailgate I've ever seen. And it's a lot of interesting things going on. A lot of food. different classes are representing, selling food, giving food, whatever they're doing with the food. They got drinks. They got a lot of drinks, a lot of food, a lot of school and alumni pride. This is all alumni. I don't think any of these are students at the school. This is all alumni and alumni pride. Of course, Radio on Fire, your man Diamond K at the Diamond K Show at Radio on Fire. Let's talk to some more people. If this continues, even this area is going to be too small to contain whatever they have here. Very interesting. All right, so of course, stay tuned. Social media at the Diamond K Show at Radio on Fire. Poly City Fest, City Poly Fest. So you're from where?
Class of 2006.
So explain to me like what this is for people that are from out of town.
It's just the best rival ever. I mean, we're a rival, but we still love each other, you know.
So who wins? Do you go to the games?
Normally City wins, I'm not even gonna lie. Normally.
Is that what happened this year?
It's still love. It's always City for the last. I think we only won 1 year when I was in school, but it's all love.
Okay.
It's all love.
Right, thank you. All right, so I do like the fact that she says it's all love, because it's all love. Poly City, City Poly. So it seems like City has the best athletic team, but Poly gives the best party, and which is why it's here. So very interesting, very interesting. Thank you, Radio on Fire. Stay tuned. One thing I can say about the Poly City Poly Fest, that was the place to be. Yeah. That was the hot party, the hot day party over the weekend. One thing that I really liked about it is that there were no issues.
Yeah,
even though
awesome.
We have a rivalry.
Yeah.
Going. There were multiple schools there. There were people from other schools, and it was all love. I really liked that part. Yeah. Was this your first time attending the Poly City Poly, activities revolved around homecoming?
No. Now, I won't say I've attended consecutively,
okay,
but I have attended where I guess the different locations. Mm-hmm. So no, I don't know. It's probably my 10th one. So
does Western have a homecoming?
Yeah, we have well, it's kind of meshed in with Poly because the whole
Poly Western. Okay, I got you. So when you were there, Western nights. That's what y'all call it, Western nights.
Yes, our
y'all definitely took a y'all had a place at this event, right?
Well, I mean, we have a place, but we're not predominant in this event. No, it's Poly. It's not Poly Western versus City. It's not like that.
Gotcha. So that's interesting. So I enjoyed it. The thing about it, people say that it is the largest. Of course, people that longtime viewers know, I attended Edmondson High School, and we have a homecoming. We have rivalries and all that kind of stuff, but it's not on the level of this. Like, this is really the largest homecoming thing for high schools in Baltimore. But I enjoyed it, and hopefully they will welcome us back next year. So we did get a chance to run into some of our Radio on Fire folk at the event, and that was fun. We thought we weren't going to see anybody, right? From Radio on Fire, but although we did see Tory Rose and the Connected Corner as we were coming in, they were leaving out. But we also got a chance to run into folk from Word on the Street podcast. Take a look at this.
Hey man, it's your guy, the one and only, Michael Nocedo, Word on the Street podcast, and here my guy Dave.
Yeah, popping Warbox, we out here, man. Good to be on the scene and all that. It's love day out here, you heard?
Hey, you see the motherfucking rings, Poly City, Poly City extravaganza. It's a pleasure. Everybody coming out. We having a good time, man.
Love y'all.
We love everybody. Everybody on both sides. Poly City side, City Poly side. However you want to justify it. We love everyone. We love everyone coming out, having a good time, enjoying themselves. And you can catch us every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Word Street Podcast. This is what we do. Shout
out to Woody. Shout out Chris.
Hey, yeah. Shout out to everybody. We love everyone. keep continuing to listening to Radio on Fire, Word Street Podcast, and every other show that comes on the mix. We love everyone. Appreciate you.
All right, so I mean, I really think that the homecoming experience, the alumni heavily involved, because the Poly City Fest, we're talking about alumni doing this, right?
Right.
This is not a thing that is happening from the current students. I think that they're very focused on the game and that, but this extracurricular stuff is very interesting. Do you remember, how did you feel about alumni when they came to the school or around the school when you were a student? Can you remember?
You know what? To be honest, I can't remember. I can't remember. I guess I was so focused on me being a current student, I really didn't focus on the alumni at all.
So me at Edmondson, I remember seeing alumni coming to the school during homecoming time, like they're around the school, stuff like that. And I used to be like, why are they still coming here after that? Like, after I'm gone, I ain't never coming back. That's what I was thinking. I ain't never coming back. What is wrong with them? And back for years. Not only do I go back for years, I go to other people's stuff at other schools that I didn't even go to. You know what I mean? So you just never know.
Right.
But I want to talk about ceasefire in a moment. I'm going to do that after this. Get ready for one of the biggest party weekends as we launch the first annual DJ Kenny K Old School Holiday Family Reunion Party, going down Saturday, November the 30th, 2019, 8 p.m., 2 a.m. at the Radisson Hotel, downtown Baltimore. Come experience old school Baltimore partying on another level. It's Thanksgiving weekend, and of course, this is going to be an appreciation party for teachers and Parks and Recs. Advance tickets, $25, available at M&K Music Warehouse, Marshall's Music, No Limit Communications, All in His Hands Barbershop, and here at the Radio on Fire News Network. DJ lineup, DJ Kenny K, DJ Sean Marshall, DJ Scotty B, DJ Angelo, DJ Deke, DJ Rod Lee, and yours truly, Don McKay, hosted by B. More Russ and Conan. Hotel rates, $84. More info, text 443-509-7051. Saturday, November 30th, Radisson Hotel, the DJ Kenny K Old School Holiday and Family Reunion Party. So, Baltimore's ceasefire, the ceasefire. We've had several people on from Ceasefire over the years, including Erica Bridgeford. But from your understanding, the ceasefire is what? Because I guess maybe I'm confused. As many times as I've talked to her, maybe I don't understand what the ceasefire is. So is it about not shooting or not killing? Like, what is from your understanding?
Well, from my understanding, it's about not shooting at all. It doesn't matter whether you shoot to kill or whether you shoot. There's no shooting. Cease fire. Fire means shooting. No shooting.
Okay.
At all. For any reason.
Okay.
Not in the air. Not a warning. Nothing.
Okay. So as of this moment, the ceasefire weekend, so if we have a fatality or shooting, do you look at that as a slight on the ceasefire? Do you look at that as the ceasefire not being successful? Do you what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I don't look at it. You're saying if it's a ceasefire weekend and someone ends up getting shot or killed during the ceasefire weekend, is it a fail?
Yes.
I don't think so, because I feel like if it wasn't a ceasefire weekend, that 2 or 3 could have been like 6, perhaps.
Yeah.
So I feel like the ceasefire weekend maybe lessens the odds of having shootings.
I'm glad you feel like that, because I do agree. I think that, and I've heard people say that if a murder happens, if someone is shot or injured with a weapon, gun, that ceasefire failed. You know what I mean? This is supposed to be a ceasefire weekend. But you're right. Bringing that light to the subject even more during these quarterly weekends, I think it has to help. It has to help with things. No, it's not going to stop everybody, but it does help.
Yeah.
And the people that complain, what are you doing?
Right.
What are you doing to help curb the violence? You can't sit back and talk about other people who have a plan in place to try to bring light and to try to have people help diffuse things and handle it a different way. Right?
Right.
All right. So let's address the obvious facts. From what we know right now, let's talk about any fatalities or any shootings that happened over this ceasefire weekend. What information do you have?
So there is reported that 1 dead and 2 shot during the ceasefire weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go a little deeper. What do we know about the person who died?
So the person who died was a 24-year-old man who had been shot and wounded. He was taken to shock trauma and where he later died. Minutes after the shooting, police say a 25-year-old man walked into an area hospital. He was seeking treatment from gunshot wounds from being in the area where the initial shooting happened, but he was not. He survived though.
All right.
So that's and then there was one other victim from an unrelated shooting that happened in the city, and he was shot, but he survived.
He survived.
Yes.
All right. So I'm glad that ceasefire does not take these situations and become discouraged from them. Did they have any participation in anything for these victims?
Yeah, they had a so there was a vigil
For the you get is that a pet peeve of yours?
A vigil.
A vigil.
Vigil.
Right. That's what's called vigil, right?
Okay. Right.
What did you say? Visual.
Yes, I said vigil.
Yeah, so it's a vigil.
Okay.
They had
Get me right.
was it a candlelight vigil?
Yes, it was a candlelight vigil that was held for the shooting victims.
When was this? Over the weekend.
Was held over the weekend.
Yeah. All right. So so that's good. So it seems to me like when incidents happen, people notify ceasefire.
Yeah, they do. They do.
And they come out and show support and all that kind of stuff. So that's good. I think it's good. We can't stop all violence.
Yeah.
But you can try to stop it. You know, it's like people say sometimes. People that I know, they'll say, "Why are you eating that? That has a whole bunch of sugar in it, right? I'm eating some watermelon, right? And there's a whole lot of sugar in that watermelon. Okay, you're eating a candy bar. Natural sugar is better than artificial sugar, right?
Oh goodness.
Facts.
Yeah, this is true.
You know what I mean? And they got Diet Coke and a candy bar, and you talking about my watermelon got sugar in it. Really? He's like, this is a Diet Coke.
Well,
Right.
they might feel like sugar is sugar.
Sugar is sugar? No, sugar is not sugar.
Hey, I know this.
All sugar is not created equal,
This is true.
right?
Yeah, we have another interesting, I guess, fact that
Okay.
this was the first homicide for the month of November, of course, and it marks the city's 285th homicide of the year.
That's not good.
No.
So we're at 285 homicides.
Yeah.
November. We still have a whole another month of November and a whole month of December.
Yeah. To go.
So I think that we are on point to probably be at 300.
You think so?
I hope not. I hope I'm wrong.
I mean, that's a lot. Well,
that would
I guess if we're averaging what, 2 shooting victims per weekend, let's say per week,
that would do it then.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope that I'm wrong. I mean, I
too.
hope that that doesn't happen. There's of course one weekend of a truce. If you double up, let's say no one's killed during the weekend, but they just double back, and we have a crazy Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You know what I mean? It just, you know,
Yeah.
it's just trying to change a mindset. It's trying to change a mindset, and to me, it's about conflict resolution. A lot of times, changing how you react to the adversity with each other.
Yeah. But a lot of people just don't have the skills, unfortunately, to be able to do that. And I mean, it's a taught thing, but you can be taught how to deal with those things or those situations, but you have to want to learn how to deal with them in a different way. That's the thing.
Right. Of course, you're listening to the Radio on Fire News Network, the voice of urban America. You can advertise with us here at Radio on Fire. A lot of different packages for you to advertise, get your product, service, or event out there. Visit radioonfire.com/promo to do that. Before we go into the last story that I want to touch on, Dirty Dancing. You said one of the famous lines from Dirty Dancing, which is what?
Nobody puts baby in a corner. I love that. You don't love that? What's wrong? What?
All right. So what is that all about?
What? What do you
I remember
mean?
the movie, but explain this. Break this down to me like I'm a third grader.
Okay. So here you have Patrick Swayze, this hunky man that, all the girls wanted in this vacation spot. So all the women were lusting after, Patrick Swayze. And here you have Baby. Well, that's exactly what they call her. Her nickname was Baby, who's somewhat this awkward, somewhat ugly duckling. And they're trying to, put her in the corner, sit her down. And he comes to her rescue in this
So is this like a Cinderella kind of
yes,
thing?
Yes, he extends his hand to her and says, nobody puts baby in the corner. And she takes his hand and he brings her into the spotlight and they do this dance. What? He just elevated that ugly duckling. She is no longer.
All right, so I want to dissect this a little bit.
What?
Okay, so because I watched the movie one time, and movies that I like, I watch over and over again. I only watched this movie one time, so I don't really. I used to confuse this movie with Footloose a lot.
What? How?
Because the dancing, the singing, you know what I mean? Okay, so when he does this, nobody puts baby in the corner thing.
Yes.
There are other people in the room.
They're at a function, like I think it's like a dinner, or where at this vacation spot the whole families get together. It's a big deal.
Okay,
it's like
so it's a big deal.
Yes.
All the who's who in this town were there.
Well, no, at the vacation. So it's a vacation spot.
So it happened over the course of a summer.
Yes. So it's the families that are staying at this vacation spot, and the dancers come out and provide entertainment for them.
She was a dancer.
No, she wasn't. What she
might have been why she was sitting in the damn corner. Maybe baby needed to be in the corner.
No, she didn't need to be in the corner, but her parents were trying to stop her from being involved in the whole dancing. She was trying to have dance lessons and learn how to, get out of her shell. Was he her dance instructor? Yes, but they were getting a little,
So he liked her.
Yeah.
Now, here's one thing I did notice. Okay, and people don't want to talk about this.
What?
Okay, but I'm going to bring it up.
Okay.
Serious. What was Patrick Swayze's character's name? Do you know? Do you remember?
Oh, why can't I remember that? I just see him as Patrick Swayze. Okay. I don't even remember his name.
So Patrick Swayze's character in Dirty Dancing, he was older than Baby.
Yes, he definitely was.
He was significantly older than Baby. Baby seemed like she was in high school.
Ooh, don't do that. I know.
No, you see where I'm going here?
Oh Lord.
Okay, so we romanticize.
You get ready to ruin this whole movie.
No, I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to ruin it, but I want to be honest here.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, I want to be honest here. So what I did, unfortunately for you and females who love this movie.
Don't do that. Don't.
Now,
don't.
It is it's something that if it happened now, we would be having a Me Too moment.
Oh.
Okay?
Stop it.
We would be having a Me Too moment because Patrick Swayze's character and Jennifer Grey, who played Baby, there's a significant age difference between the two.
So you really looked that up?
He was robbing the cradle.
Oh my gosh, you really looked up the ages.
I'm just being honest.
Okay, well, what does it say? How old were they?
Well, we don't know how old they were.
Okay, well, good.
Right? We don't know how old they were, but she's a young woman in love with dance instructor Johnny Castle. Right? Okay. You couldn't even remember this guy's name because you didn't even care about none of that.
I didn't know because I know his real name is Patrick Swayze.
All right.
It didn't matter.
So the movie is set in the summer of 1963.
Okay.
Baby in the movie is 17 years old.
Does it say that?
Yes. Baby in the movie is 17 years old. Now, in the movie Johnny Castle, who's played by Patrick Swayze, his character is 25 years old. Okay?
Oh my gosh, they don't.
Now, he took her to dirty dancing parties. This is good. This is cool. We co-signing this.
You so baited me into talking about this.
Yes, I did.
Oh
I
my
did.
gosh,
I did bait you.
I don't. You know what?
I did bait you.
I can't even believe I
did
fell
bait
for
you
it.
into this.
I fell for this. I really fell for this. I'm so.
Yes.
Because you're just ruining the dirty
No,
dancing
I'm
experience
not.
for me.
I'm
You
not.
are. It's over. I'm
Now, I
done.
will say this. The song, which was the closing song, big song. I've had time of my life. Big song. God, all of that. But when we look at these songs, Grease, Sound of Music, Pretty Woman, when we look at these songs, and I will dissect all of these movies individually at a later date, I want to talk about Dirty Dancing right now. Could Dirty Dancing be done now with 17-year-old female lead based on the story and a 25-year-old male lead, and that's fine?
Oh my goodness.
Could we do that in 2020? Could we do that?
Probably not.
No? Yeah, I don't think
No,
so. I don't think we should.
But you just ruined it for me. I guess
Well,
I won't
no,
be
but-
watching that movie anymore.
Well, look,
feel
I
like
have my own issues with Pretty Woman.
Why? Because she's a prostitute?
Yes. This movie, Pretty Woman, talks about saving hoes.
Well, you men like to save hoes. It's a whole lot of men out there that can relate to saving hoes.
It's a whole lot of men.
Y'all like to save hoes.
I don't know about that.
Women that aren't hoes have a much harder time than women that don't be safe.
As far as social media, of course, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at The Diamond K Show, at Radio on Fire, LinkedIn at The Diamond K Show. But we're not done, and I don't think you're going to have too much to contribute to this. But Beto O'Rourke dropping out of the race as I predicted. He's an interesting guy. I will say that. While he is not going to be successful, and why didn't his campaign work, I think are one and the same. Okay, he's played games with the media and all of that, but he dropped out Friday from the presidential race, and interestingly, some people mistook his near success in a Texas Senate race last year against the hated Ted Cruz. He couldn't even beat the hated Ted Cruz. But people assumed that he raised a lot of money. He had a high profile in a Texas race that became a national race. They said maybe he can be president. Maybe Beto O'Rourke is the person that can beat Donald Trump. And whoever fell for that, I have a bridge that I want to sell you. So if you thought that Beto O'Rourke's wife didn't think he was going to be president. I looked in her eyes. I saw it.
Did she say that?
No, she didn't say it.
Oh.
But I saw it. I'm assuming.
Her eyes
I'm
were saying
assuming.
that.
Her eyes said,
Not today. No, oh, really?
not today, not ever. The thing about Beto was unfortunate. And the reason why I want to highlight Beto is not because he was unsuccessful in this run. Because if you say, I'm unsuccessful because we ran out of money, that's different, okay? In order to become president, you got to spend a lot of money on silly shit, right?
Right.
But if that is the reason why the engine kept chugging along and then we just ran out, that's something different. Beto O'Rourke was never a good candidate. He never was, okay? They wanted him to be something that he wasn't. They thought that he had a visual appeal that we could market him like the new JFK. Okay, he's no JFK. Okay, he doesn't speak well enough to be JFK. In order to be the type of, they wanted a white, liberal, America apple pie guy to face off against Trump. Fine. But here's what's missing from that. He has to be a charismatic person, right?
True.
He has to be charismatic. In the words of my father, people have to like you, right?
And you have to kind of be able to throw caution to the wind and not be conservative.
Yeah, I'm
You
saying
can't do
right.
that and
That's
win
true.
and beat Trump
That's
at all.
true. That's true. Because he raised so much money during his Senate run, they thought that he was going to be able to come in here and raise a lot of money. Now, some people may say, why do you need to have all this money to be president? Why do you think that is? Why do you think they need so much money?
Because they have to pay they have to pay the people who knock on the doors, and they have to pay those robocallers. They have to pay. It's a lot of. You need help. You need to pay for your team.
That is true.
So I mean, you
That
have
is
to have
true.
money. These people aren't going to work for free.
Exactly. And so you have to set up multiple outfits in different states. And you got to have people. So it's he's got to come there. You got to have people. You got to have field offices. You got to have, like you said, people that are doing the different things.
And you have to be able to cover your traveling expenses alone. Are ridiculous. So yeah.
It generally takes. At least $20 million.
Yeah, because you can't work a 9 to 5 when you do that. You know what I mean? You
Right.
got to be. Yeah, that's you need
At
money.
least.
Yeah.
At least. But a lot of people are surprised that these elections are so expensive. And you didn't even talk about the advertising factor.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't even cut into that, but you need even more money than that. And I said the 20 million, that's the kind of money that the losers have raised. Right? The losers raised $20 million, right?
But that's why they get into making so many different deals and making all these promises, and because they want the money.
Okay.
Well, they need the money actually.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. So just so people can understand, in the 2016 campaign, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton spent a combined $1.16 billion.
No.
Billion. That's combined.
But to run for office.
Yes. Combined. Now, when they include all the other candidates, let's include all the other candidates who ran in 2016, plus Hillary, plus Donald Trump. We're talking about $2.4 billion spent on that whole election. That's all the candidates.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of money. So you're talking
You're looking
about
at them like, who can afford to run?
Oh, absolutely. So when you look at it from that standpoint,
Sheesh.
we're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars to run a successful campaign. Hundreds of millions. Wow. And the growth, the amount of money that people are spending now is increasing, not decreasing. If you go back to the time of Abraham Lincoln, people are spending 250% more money now.
Yeah, because part of it, when you talk about the advertising piece, back then it was a limited ways that you could advertise. There's so many advertising avenues now that you have to cover. That alone can run into like millions. I believe that.
Yeah. So if we come back to more recent times, okay? Yeah. We go back to the early 90s. George H.W. Bush, that's the older Bush, Bill Clinton, and Ross Perot spent $192 million combined. Three campaigns, right? And if we go to the younger George Bush and Al Gore, who many people say that Al Gore won. I'm one of those people that said that Al Gore won. But anyway, they spent $200 million combined.
Okay, it's rising.
Okay, right? Mm-hmm. It's rising. Now, the 2004 election, George Bush spent $345 million, which at that time was the most expensive campaign in history. Oh, don't worry. That didn't last long. 2008, President Obama came in $730 million.
Woo.
Is what he spent. $730 million. John McCain spent $333 million.
Well, that's not, okay.
$330 million. President Obama almost spent $1 billion.
Yes.
right?
That's a lot.
Yeah. And on his re-election campaign, he spent more than that. Spent $775 million to win the.
Well, I mean, when you're successful and you actually win, you look at that as like, yes. But when you invest that kind of money and you lose,
yeah. So speaking
horrible.
of that, Mitt Romney, who ran against President Obama during the second term, he spent $460 million, and he was unsuccessful.
Yeah, you should have cut your losses.
Now, in addition to that, he spent his 460. Okay, RNC spent 378, and 153 came from various PACs. So the total that they spent to try to get President Obama out was $992 million, because he spent the 460 of his. 378 came from the Republican National Committee, and another 153 came from PACs. And they still lost against President Obama. That's almost $1 billion right there.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing, though. These numbers, we're throwing these large numbers out there. And I think that people sometimes miscalculate, thinking that because something is labeled at a price or you're charged a price for it, that's the value of it. And that's not true. People can overprice a jacket, some food, a car. And because you paid an amount for it, that doesn't mean that that's the actual value of that item. They could have just raised the price. You know what I mean? So I think that if you think somebody's going to come through here with almost $1 billion, we could overcharge them for stuff. They're getting less than the value, but we know they got the money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think a lot of times these people in their campaigns fall into traps of spending money that they don't really have to spend on different things. When you got a lot of money, you're throwing stuff around. So the rent for the various places they set up campaign offices are probably inflated because they know this is for such and such campaign. Yeah, so anybody else, we would have charged this, but we're going to charge this. Advertising rates, they're going to be higher because you know they got it.
Right.
You working on a campaign, some of those people are charging more than what they would charge to do the same job for something else because they know that they got it. And people burning through money. So Beto O'Rourke burning through money. I'm glad to see him gone, personally. I'm not saying that his mother should have swallowed him. I'm just saying that he should not be a politician. That's what I'm saying. Okay, I'm not saying that he shouldn't be born. You know what I mean? It's just he should not have been a politician. I don't think he's a good politician.
Okay.
He's one of the guys just throwing anything out there. He's like, hell yeah, we're going to take your guns away. Churches should have to pay taxes and, accept gay people. And just throwing random stuff out there. I don't know if he's going to be able to be elected to any office. PTA is going to be looking at him like, I don't know.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? PTA at his kid's school, he probably can't even be president of that. But maybe he'll go in the woods and find himself like Hillary did. She went in the woods after she lost.
She went in the woods?
Yes.
Did she just go on a retreat?
No, she was roaming around in the woods.
What? Just roaming?
Yeah, yeah.
You know what? And she said she was running around in the woods trying to find herself.
They showed it. They showed it. And
that's what the article said. Roaming Hillary roaming around in the woods trying to find herself.
No, I didn't say she's trying to find herself.
Oh.
But I mean, I think that after a loss in 2016 like that, and I'm going to use the word loss because that's what happened. But yeah, so she was roaming around in the woods, walking around. It was one of those kind of things. She was
trying to reflect on what happened.
Yeah, so she went hiking after she lost. You know what I mean? She went hiking.
Okay.
And that's why I said she's just roaming around in the woods. Yeah, Westchester County. It happens.
Yes.
Maybe Beto can roam around in the woods, find himself.
Okay.
He needs to do something else. Maybe he can be governor. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he needs to move because Texas and guns go together.
Okay.
You can't tell citizens, hell yeah, we're going to take your guns and think you're going to be able to get elected to nationwide office or even statewide office in Texas. I don't see it happening. You?
No. You're
You know
right.
what I mean?
Maybe he does need to move.
That's like coming into Baltimore and saying, hell yeah, we're going to take your chicken and your seafood. And then it's trying to run for office. They ain't voting for you. You taking chicken and seafood in Baltimore?
Oh gosh.
What? Or
That might be
Maryland?
true.
You think?
You're right. We definitely wouldn't take
No,
count
wait,
to that.
chicken and seafood. Yeah.
Yeah,
Y'all can
that's
have
it.
hamburgers and beef and hot dogs, but no chicken boxes, no seafood.
No crabs. What?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think we
you're
have a
right.
problem. That's
Absolutely.
that's the problem that Beto's gonna have, right? So I don't know. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at The Diamond K Show, at Radio on Fire, LinkedIn at The Diamond K Show. I was telling you about LinkedIn. You were unaware that LinkedIn is popping.
Yeah, I was. I got to check it out.
You don't even remember your password for your
I
LinkedIn
don't,
page.
but I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it back.
Yeah, yeah. But
get it
a
out.
lot of people need to check out LinkedIn. It is not just about getting jobs now. LinkedIn is like a fly ass Facebook,
Okay.
right? But fly.
A fly
Now, yes,
ass
you can still
Facebook.
get jobs,
Okay.
and yes, it has a professional vibe to it.
All right.
But so videos, you can post live. You can post videos, photos, all kind of stuff. So I definitely encourage people as far as LinkedIn. We'll be back tomorrow. Another episode of the show, 4 p.m. You miss any episodes or you don't see us live, of course, radioonfire.com/Diamond K. Booking info, djdiamondk@gmail.com. Advertising, radioonfire.com/promo. Right? See you guys tomorrow.